Jeez Louise.
And I get the territorial rights with the Giants in San Jose. It would have been kind of cool to see the A's in San Jose. They could have really
I think it would have been a
out there.
big financial boom.
Oh, my gosh. They would have been selling out 35,000-seat stadiums every night down in San Jose with that weather. Oh, my gosh.
There's a lot of fans, money. The weather is significantly better. There's land to do it. There's a lot of more space.
Yeah, it's sad. Sasuke, it's just sad. The Babe Ruth series, people want to get hyped up about it. I don't know. I don't know how people, like Spadoni, Babe Ruth series, is doing anything for you? Like, how's it been watching the A's this season knowing they're leaving Oakland, California?
The team was so awful last year, and they've actually been relatively they're going to hit their over in the win total probably here pretty soon, but they're 17 games, whatever they are, under 500. But yeah, tomorrow's probably gonna be my last game ever at the Coliseum, but I'm also doing it because, my best friend, we're having his bachelor party there tomorrow, starting there. So we're doing that, and then we're going to have a night out in the city. So I'll remember that. I'll remember the good times with some buddies and stuff like that, but it's not like the mystique of the series is not doing anything for me. In the past, it was fun because my dad's a Giants fan, so we would go together and stuff like that during Father's Day or that time. Sometimes the A's and Giants would play around that time. So, but yeah, I don't know. The whole thing has gotten to the point where I've become numb. Just it is what it is kind of a thing. You'll be in Sacramento. I'm not going to go up there to play. I'll probably still follow along, but just on Twitter. I'm not going to be oh yeah, the A's. Yeah, I'm going to go on my way to talk about them. I'm not going to do that anymore, which sucks because I like to go out of my way to talk about teams that I like. I bring up Raiders conversations to you guys all the time, stuff like that. When's the last time I ever talked about the A's, really? Mason Miller yesterday.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I don't go on my way to talk about them anymore, which sucks because I grew up loving that team.
I mean, this station had so many people that were so connected with the A's.
Yep.
Rick and Townie and
Roxy
Papa
Bernstein.
and
Roxy Bernstein.
Roxy Bernstein, I know Brody at one point did shows over here. Kyle Madsen loves the A's. He used to be over here. Spadoni, Evan Giddings, who's on, is a big-time A's fan. I mean, it's just everybody here was a big A's fan, a lot of them. And it just sucks. And I just think about, baseball in the East Bay and how many I'm talking great players. Forget back in the day. I'm talking about just the last 25 years, like Dontrelle Willis, CC Sabathia, Jimmy Rollins. Just go down the list. It's like a who's who of playoff performing studs. And to think that a lot of those guys aren't going to have their hometown team anymore. I mean, and you know how much I love baseball. I wonder what the effect is and it's going to have just on the community and everybody in general.
Just being a baseball geek, flipping over the channel and watching American League Baseball. When Giants go to commercial, going to the A's game, we're just having a laptop and the television, watching the A's. And I remember, didn't they have a 21-inning game against the Angels? What was that, Spadone? They had this epic 20. We stayed up all night. I remember Twitter all night. It was
Jamal Weeks had the game-winning run.
Miami.
Kane's legend.
Jamal Weeks.
Was he Ricky Weeks' brother from Milwaukee?
Ricky Weeks is, I think Ricky Weeks, too, is coaching with Milwaukee now.
Oh.
The Brewers. Yeah, I saw his name pop up
he was
a couple
good. Him and
ago.
Braun were sick together.
Yeah, they were sick together. But
the Hebrew Hammer.
They've got.
That's what his nickname was.
Another Hurricanes legend.
The tainted substance.
He was another Hurricane legend, wasn't he?
Yep. I remember when I would go to baseball games in Miami, people love telling stories about how Ryan Braun routinely put balls in the parking garage that was on the other side of the right field fence, a good 350 feet away or something like that.
Lying about the urine sample,
Hey,
too.
I was just going to say.
And then Aaron Rodgers having his back, too, and then lying about it.
Ryan Braun was sick, though. Prince Fielder, Ricky Weeks, that team was nice.
Funny thing about that biogenesis clinic that, A-Rod and whatnot got mixed up with, right across the street from the Miami baseball field.
Yeah, that's funny.
Was it Gomes? Who was the center fielder?
Johnny Gomes?
It was Chris Gomes or something. Johnny Gomes different. He was more corner outfielder, DH. This guy was Chris Gomes or something like that. Center field.
There's Jan Gomes, but that's the catcher.
Whatever happened to Jarrell Cotton with the Oakland A's? It's random, I know, because I remember Jarrell Cotton had a great start. To see, he was dealing, right? And Sunday afternoon delight, I was like, Papa, this guy reminds me of Pedro. He goes, you know what? I thought about that.
The most recent MLB team, by the way, Bonte, was the Giants in 2022.
Are you serious?
Yep. Jarrell Cotton was a Giant in 2022.
Jarrell Cotton. He had his start. I remember
How could you forget?
I remember Papa texted in the group thread, I can't find the A's game. Where they at? Cotton's pitching in Kansas City. We're hyped, dude.
I mean, there at one point, it was A.J. Puck, Luzardo.
Yep.
Who were the other ones? Daniel Murphy, I remember at one point. All the young players that were going to be something.
Yeah, well, there's just, I mean, you can go to Sean Doolittle, you can go to Josh Donaldson, you can go to Matt Olson, who's not there, Matt Chapman not there. Coco Crisp was the old guy for a while. We love Coco Crisp. You can just go, I feel like I'm Joe Horn right now. There's so many of you, Matt, I can't even give you an exact name.
Who was the shortstop you got from the Cubs when you traded, or that you traded to the Cubs?
Addison Russell.
Addison Russell.
Addison Russell.
Addison Russell. Now playing, I think, overseas.
Adam Rosales.
Crosby.
Let's go to,
there's been
Bobby Crosby
so many great players.
Bobby Crosby was sick, and I remember
he's
Harold
the first
Reynolds.
base coach now.
I remember Harold Reynolds, I'll never forget, because I think he won Rookie of the Year. And the next year, they were making, like, Baseball Tonight, we're making, like, their MVP predictions. And Harold Reynolds was like, my MVP is going to be Bobby Crosby. This guy's unbelievable.
I thought he was going to be sick, too.
And I was like,
good.
damn. And then, he was good.
It was him. Who was the right fielder before him? Not Van Poppel. Isringhausen. Who was the
Todd
God,
Van
I was like
Poppel's
7,
old
so
school.
yeah, this is probably your guys'
Ariel Prieto, remember him?
Oh, yeah. No, but who's that right fielder that was supposed to be good for the A's? Oh, that's going to kill me.
Mondo and San Lorenzo.
What's up, Mondo?
What's happening?
Derek Barton.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, Mondo?
Yeah, I heard you guys talk about that, that crazy long game. I'm not sure if it was the Angels, but I remember it was a Monday. I think it was 19 innings or something like that.
A long game, right? Yeah.
It was a Monday, and I had to work at like 6 a.m. the next day, but, you don't get to see 19-inning games very often. And then I think who was it, Jerry Blevins? I think he had to actually come back because they were out of position players because the bullpen was just packed for that whole game. But, I've been a fan since I was about 5 years old. My dad had season tickets. He takes the games all the time. Grew up in the 2000s with Moneyball. I think during game 18, to how to smoke a foul ball over to our seats and almost hit me in the head. My dad, set me down to like a hit. But, the best, it's just been really sad to seeing the team degrade from, the height of what it was, 70s, 80s, all that kind of stuff. I recently moved and I'm having this, I just want to sell my A stuff because this has no sentimental value to me anymore. And I think one of the worst parts for me is that when Cal came in, they had all the promotions, they had a bunch of new programs they were trying to launch and really trying to get the fans into the stadium. I think it was that Treehouse Pass, whatever it was. That was exciting, but like you guys said, he's a weasel, and it's really sad to see the team go from the height of what it was, during my formative years into what it is now, the shell of former self. Like my friends, oh, you still follow the A's? Because I still wear A's hat. I still wear the team, but seeing where it is, it's just really upsetting.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do when they go to SAC?
I don't know. It is what it is. I think your producer said just follow him on social media every now and then. But I'm actually bringing my dad up for one last game, and nice. I don't know. Hear you guys talk about it right now. It's hard, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
enjoy it with your dad. Enjoy it.
Let's go to Brian from the Last Dive Bar. Brian, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Man, what is going on? You guys are absolutely cooking. The coffee is scorching hot this morning. I had to call in. I was inspired by you guys just dragging John Fisher. This is great.
Yeah, it gets tiresome, though. What else can we say about him? It's just like talking Farhan Zaidi. What else do you want us to say about Farhan Zaidi? It is what it is. It becomes stale.
I mean, B, I'm looking at it right here. Real quick before you go in here. Canseco, McGuire, Weiss, 3 consecutive rookies of the years in the late 80s. And then they go, Ben Grieve was the guy I was talking about. And then you get Crosby, Houston Street, Andrew Bailey, all in a 4 or 5 year period. I mean, just the amount of talent they've had is unreal. It's the ownership.
Their farm system has been so far better than the Giants' farm system.
It's unreal.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, Shasky, you really hit it on the head at the start. This has been systematic, right? I've never seen an organization systematically just dismantle the history, the rich history of a franchise. I mean, the only team outside the Yankees to win 3 World Series. You got going to another 3, World Series in the 80s. You had the Moneyball. You never capitalized on anything, and this has been completely systematic. And in the final year of the Coliseum, the final year, you've done absolutely nothing as an organization to acknowledge that, lean into that. I mean, at least when the Raiders left, there was somewhat of a farewell tour, and they gave that bit of decency to the fan base. But the A's, no. They've known that they were going to Vegas all the way in 2021 is when they were first starting to announce it and the rumblings were going on. And so they knew this day was coming. They've done absolutely nothing to acknowledge the fans, to acknowledge the employees. I mean, even the employees, Vince Cotroneo, who's been with the A's for 18 years, had to go through the Chronicle to announce that he was leaving. And most employees that are still there, that have been there for 20, 30 years, don't even know the fate, right? And aren't even getting communicated to by the organization, and they're just getting letters. We've had employees that have told us that they've been told that if they want a celebration for them leaving, they have to hold it themselves. It's spiteful, it's intentional, and I've never seen something on the level this big. And so, like, our mission has been just exposing Fisher and the antics of what they're doing on a level that has never been seen before. And now you can't talk about the A's without talking about how bad Fisher has been for baseball, for the A's, for the franchise, the history. I mean, the guy's completely pooped on it, like you said, like nobody else. I mean, I've never seen diarrhea on a fan base and an organization like this guy has had.
I mean,
well said, Brian. What do you do now, though? Where's baseball